You talked about short fixes and you talked about long-term growth. I want to begin by focusing on the short fixes. In your view, what are the things, the policies that you've put in place to enable short fixes for SMEs, to bring them in quickly on board and to grow them because they are the engine of growth?
First, in the past year, we have worked on a number of initiatives. The first is a set of executive orders which were meant, specifically to drive productivity in one way or the other. The first was an executive order which mandated government agencies, especially the regulatory agencies, to ensure that they are able to deliver on their specific mandates within time frames. So, for example, the Corporate Affairs Commission was required to be able to give registration for businesses within 24 hours, in some cases within 48 hours. We set timelines for specific regulatory agencies to be able to deliver on their mandates. Another was with respect to local content. So the second executive order was one that said that government agencies, the MDAs, must patronize local products as an obligation. Now, that meant that the first order of business for a government agency in a procurement will be to look out for local products before looking elsewhere. And that was also, one of the important mandates that the executive orders produced. So, in effect, we ensured that we worked with the government agencies to ensure that they're able to deliver on their own mandates. But the other thing, and perhaps more important, is what we did with the MSMEs. We had a series of what we call the MSME clinics. And I personally went to about 7 states with regulatory agencies, with the NAFDAC, with SON, with FRS, with BOI. We went to several states to meet with MSMEs and to talk to the MSMEs and interact with them. Basically, the whole idea was to introduce the regulatory agencies in a new light, that they're actually meant to be facilitators of business, not obstacles to business. And in many states, they've now set up offices so that the MSMEs can quickly approach them and interact with them whenever they have the need to do so. So in many senses, we've been very hands-on about our engagement, especially with the MSMEs. Yes.
If I may say so, it sounds really good. But in many ways, there are those who will say these are cosmetic changes. And if you don't address the fundamentals, it is very hard to see how you can ramp up productivity, at least in such a way that you have a quantum change in terms of just growth that is inclusive as we want. What would you say to that?
Yeah, I'd say that that's absolutely wrong. Certainly there's nothing cosmetic about ensuring that businesses are registered within 28 or 48 hours with proof. There's nothing cosmetic about ensuring that NAFDAC is able to deliver on its mandate within a given time frame. And there's absolutely nothing cosmetic about going to the MSMEs themselves, having them interact directly with the regulators. And obviously there's nothing cosmetic also about ensuring that we're able to provide the best environment for all of these MSMEs and businesses to grow. For example, if you look at agriculture, and the sheer number of farmers that have come on board and the whole agro-allied value chain, and the enthusiasm of industry, especially, when you look at the number of rice mills that are now, in production, look at the number of fertilizer mills. The sheer range of businesses that are coming on stream. I think that enthusiasm itself and what you're seeing in actual numbers shows you that there is nothing cosmetic about what is going on. It's very real, and the figures and all of the evidence is there to see.